What is up, guys? Euclid back here with you again, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a reaction and pretty much talking and discussing over the new Stalker 2 trailer, simply known as the official game overview. It's supposed to be a look at some of the in-game assets, weapons, potentially characters. So it's going to be really the first instance that we've actually get to witness on like a dev's perspective from the developer team at GSC Game World of the in-game assets, the high-resolution stuff. Other than mods that include things from like Escape from Tarkov and stuff, such as Anomaly or Call of Chernobyl in general and things that are added to it, we have not seen a new-esque Stalker anything. So this is a really big deal. Somebody actually just commented on my last Metro video recently, but YouTube for some reason made the comment go away. Luckily I got a notification of it on mobile and on here, but basically they were telling me to react to it. I had every intention to, just haven't had a chance to watch it yet. I don't watch this kind of stuff unless I get to record, so let's go ahead and check out what GSC Game World has been up to over the past few years. Yes.
Hi, my name is Zach, and I'm in charge of PR at GSC Game World.
Uh-oh.
We made the original Stalker trilogy, and now we are developing Stalker 2. The 23rd of March marked the anniversary of the first game in the series, Stalker: Shadow of Chernobyl. Celebrating the date, last year we released the first in-engine screenshot of Stalker 2, followed by the first trailer and the gameplay teaser. That was our way to celebrate 25 years of making games here at GSC Game World.
Nice.
This year, we have an anniversary gift for our fans as well. It's an update on Stalker 2. It's not as big as a new trailer just yet, but we hope you will enjoy it. Let's start with something familiar, yet completely renewed.
Ooh.
And here is the first look at the updated costumes.
Alright.
The zone is a dangerous place, so it's filled with different factions. The Freedom and the Duty are two iconic opposing forces. The first ones see the zone as a free, ever-growing space, while the second ones would eagerly sacrifice their lives to prevent its spreading.
Wow.
These ideologies will never meet the agreement. As you may have guessed, you will see them in the sequel.
Look at that boot
The
knife.
recognizable design for each faction has been enriched with details. If you look closely, you can see scuffs, scratches, and sticking out threads. Please keep in mind, the models are still work in progress.
Of course.
The time has passed,
Ooh,
and the new
look
forces
at that.
emerged in the zone. You can expect to see more factions in Stalker 2.
Oh, wow.
Let's move on.
Wow.
The reception of Stalker 2 has been extremely positive so far, and we are truly grateful for that. Thank you for your passion and your interest. Stalker 2 is a shooter game, and you can't imagine it without the guns, right? Here are a couple of guns you will see in the game. The arsenal will include more than 30 different weapons. Of course, there will be lots of modifications for each gun.
Oh, that's pretty. It's looking really good. I mean, they're not being shy about it either. They're letting us get up close and see it. That's what I wanted, honestly. Oh, I love that. It's a great beginner gun when you start a new run-through of any Stalker game. If you get a hands on a shotgun, you have something. This LMG is looking nasty. It looks good. But that Duty Stalker they showed and then the Loner, I mean, those guys looked fantastic. What have we here? Ah, nice. It's like the Viper 5. Single, full. Wow. Safety. Dude, looking good. I'm not a big bolt action guy, but that's just because most bolt actions were just in mods and stuff. This right here with the tactical rail looks nice. Ooh! Look at that! I like how the gun strap has been wrapped around it. Oh, wow. This is looking really good. They have like different variants next to each other with different pieces. Look at that foldable stock too. That looks great. You always wonder what they've been up to or what they've achieved this far. Look at that 40mm grenade launcher. Flashlight attachment looks like with the ACOG on top. Not that I'm a munitions expert, nor would I pretend to be one, but it's still cool to see that. Ooh, look at all the attachment options.
Finally, let's finish with something completely unexpected. We work a lot to fill the world with a decent amount of memorable details, and sometimes it takes us to completely unexpected grounds. Can you see this guy? Quite a charmer, if you ask me. But let's take a closer look at his teeth.
Whoa, dude.
And the tooth is gone, or changed, or replaced with a dental crown.
Whoa!
All made with our custom teeth tool, one of the many plugins we use in the development process for specific changes like that. These tiny accents ensure each character looks completely unique. Literally every human in Stalker 2 has one-of-a-kind smile. Or grin, I suppose. And that covers up our news for today. Please subscribe to our official social channels to receive up-to-date info about the game or ask any questions. We would be pleased to share more about Stalker 2, including gameplay demonstration, later this year. Until then,
hell yes!
Good hunting, Stalkers.
Nice! That is so cool to see. That gives me similar goosebumps to when Metro Exodus' trailer was unveiled. That the gentleman from... The comments in this video are absolutely hilarious, but now we gotta turn the volume down, we gotta recap this shit, because everything looks really good. First of all, I would like to bring up that this looks like, again, like people have said before, some form of Sidorovich's bunker. And it makes you wonder if that's the case. But this gentleman walked it through really well. He introduced it really well. But let's go through and have another look at that equipment. We'll turn the volume down really low. That looks amazing. I mean, look at the equipment. Look at the straps. Look at the boots. The character is moving. I mean, from the textured, what looks like nylon and leather, to the knee guards you have right here. But the red knee guards and stuff like that, the coloration, kind of makes it obviously seem like a member of duty, even before you see the full costume. And I really appreciate this pack here that, in a lot of ways, seems homemade, or at least home remedied and home maintained. Duty. Look at that. Look at this guy. This looks really good. Really good. But it doesn't feel alienated away from the original. This feels like a game that is supposed to surpass and continue the legacy of Shadow of Chernobyl, Call of Pripyat, Clear Sky. So it feels right. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like people are really nervous if you go online, you read comments, you talk about what there is to talk about, or if you're just somebody like me that lurks a lot and kind of makes their own judgment while talking to or listening to the conversation of other people. A lot of people in the Stalker community, it seems like, biggest worry is that the next game won't feel like either the vanilla games, because a lot of people want an experience that a lot of the modded games have brought, but I don't feel like Stalker 2 is going to have the same problems and limitations that the original Stalker series had. GSC Game World had a lot of its own problems, and it had a lot of difficulties that I dare not go into far too detail, kind of out of respect, but they had a lot of internal issues and such during the development of the 3 original games. So, of course, the mods highlighted what Stalker could be, but Stalker 2 is what Stalker will be. So that's why the pressure is on GSC to make sure that these games are actually what we want them to be. So when it comes to the Takeshi Stalker 2, you look at this character, not only is the armor make a lot more sense and seem a bit more tactical, but it actually feels right because Duty, it's all about black and red. Duty is no bullshit. They're willing to spill blood for their line of it. Their duty, their faction is literally what they are. It's not hard to imagine. And then Freedom is kind of the opposite, and they conflict naturally because of, instead of Duty's role of safeguarding and taking down the zone, where it's Freedom wants everybody to be able to use it and such. It's hard to hate either faction. I kind of like Freedom more, mostly because of what their responsibilities they took care of is holding the barrier. I found that very heroic, even if it was just bad placement for them. And listen to what he says. I mean, there's shit to be heard just from what this gentleman from PR at GSC is talking about. Just listen.
The zone is a dangerous place, so it's filled with different factions. The Freedom and the Duty are two iconic opposing forces.
Freedom and Duty are two iconic opposing forces. They're going to be in the next game. That is something that I feel like is obvious. Why wouldn't they be? I imagine Freedom will still be in some way holding the army warehouses. Duty will still be holding their predominant areas, and Rostock. I want bigger levels, I want bigger sections, and I want to know how their conflict has happened. Has any big conflict happened? Have they had to relocate? Has Freedom had to relocate? Who knows? Let's continue.
First ones see the zone as a free, ever-growing state.
The first ones see the zone as a free, ever-growing state. That's Freedom. That's how they feel about it. That's why they name the name of their faction is Freedom. Name doesn't seem bad. What they seem to be doing doesn't seem to be bad. And then there's Duty.
While the second ones would eagerly sacrifice their lives to prevent its spreading.
So both seem to be really good ideologies as far as Freedom and Duty. To see these factions carry out in the next games is going to be fantastic. And I cannot wait to see what the game looks like. If they make it feel like what everybody enjoys about the original games, but better. If it's just Stalker but better than what we've gotten before, then I don't really think a lot of people are going to be disappointed. The modding community is still going to do what it's going to do once the game comes out, or at least a good bit after. But I think everybody's ready for a new experience. Everybody has been chomping at the bits for one. For a while, it never felt like it was going to happen. Like I said, GSC has had a lot of its own internal struggles and strife, and it's not the same team that it was before, I would like to believe, or at least in parts it's not. But that's another subject for another video for another time.
These ideologies will never meet the agreement.
As you said, Freedom and Duty will never meet agreement, and then you have this Stalker here, which I don't believe is Freedom, but I could be wrong. We'll take a look at his patch. This looks like a loner. This Stalker here looks like his equipment is kind of... You see that? On the back of his pack? That pack, it looks like it just says Stalker. So I don't know, but there's a lot of little details, little numbers here and stuff. That's a big fucking deal. Like, that is something that just immediately, it's a decision of good taste to do that, to include those little details. He said to please keep in mind that the models are still work in progress, and we do need to keep that in mind. But look at this, what looks like a Soviet GP5 mask, or at least a relative model similar to it. I have like this crappy Halloween mask that looks similar to this. I was going to use it for thumbnails, but that wouldn't have worked. But you see these models, and look at, that's gorgeous. That gun, haven't, with the integrated silencer and everything it looks like. Okay, so it is Freedom. Very cool. Very, very cool. Let's listen to him again real quick.
The time has passed, and the new forces emerged in the zone. You can expect to see more factions in Stalker 2.
Yeah, you can kind of tell that it has more of a loner look to it and everything.
On.
The integrated silencer on that weapon is looking fantastic. The weapons are looking great. I'm wondering if patches are not still going to be a thing. Are they going to do away with patches to be more present with uniforms? Is it going to be more military? Because Freedom and Duty, when you think about it, Duty is more in-your-face paramilitary. However, Freedom has military background because of mercenary leadership due to Lukesh. And when you think about it, mercenaries are usually ex-military, private military, but they're usually military in some sense. So both sides have military resources and training. which makes them powerful opposing forces. And their rivalry is infamous in the Stalker universe. If you don't know, freedom and duty, did they like the PR representative from GSC Game World said, the two ideologies are born to conflict. They'll never coincide peacefully within the zone. Because of the lack of patches and like the green-esque uniforms, this Stalker from Freedom, I mean, it looks more like a loner because he's wearing a leather jacket with looks like some kind of padding and such. But that doesn't always mean everything, so maybe it's a rookie. I do like the snorkeled hose with the GP5 gas mask. It looks fantastic. So, moving on from that.
The reception of Stalker 2 has been extremely positive so far. Passion and your interest.
Now the TAWS right here is looking fantastic. The over-under TAWS is always a good starting weapon. If you don't get that, or if you don't get the double barrel variant, I mean, as soon as you get a shotgun, the game changes a little bit. You suddenly have something that can usually put somebody down in a matter of a second, right? And that makes you that much more dangerous, but also allows you to preserve yourself a lot more. I'm not a big fan of LMGs, especially in a game like Stalker. It's not like Call of Duty. It's not like a Medal of Honor or a Call of Duty game, where LMGs are a little bit more relevant. It's still powerful, don't get me wrong, but usually a Stalker, you kind of want to remain lightweight, but yet powerful. That's why it usually comes down to having a Kalash and a shotgun, or starting off early, a sidearm and a shotgun. I'm waiting for him to stop talking. Yeah. I mean, it's looking fantastic. The butt of the gun looks good. The way that the screws are present. The notching of the gun makes it look aged. There's scars and scratches on the TAWS. It looks really fantastic. I mean, the design of these, what looks like geese flying out of this lake on this design, because this is a very classic shotgun design, very decorative, almost like a competition shooter, and then the double trigger, naturally, because it is a double barrel. Looks really good. I mean, it's pretty. We're not screwing around here. This is a good looking game asset, and I'm impressed. Genuinely impressed. I also like where it flies towards. Of course, it's going to go to the LMG. I do like this design of buttstock. I think that buttstock makes sense. It's a very, what comes off as an unwieldy weapon, which is fine. I mean, I'm not a big LMG person, but as far as in-game assets and munitions and firearms go, this looks like a good. I mean, it honestly looks well made. I'm pretty impressed by what I'm seeing so far. It looks good, and I like that they're not being shy about giving us a tour of the weapon. I cannot wait to see these weapons in game from a first-person perspective. You notice the red lettering right here? The fact that they're actually taking the time to give the iron sights on these weapons actual range finding markings and stuff like that is just phenomenal to me. Of course, it's going to move on to the Viper 5, I believe. And this thing is interesting looking. I do like how the stock just juts out instead of being like a fully, it looks like the stock would actually insert on itself. As you can see right here, it looks like it's meant to kind of slide in this way. And I think that's why. For more accurate shooting at different ranges. So it looks like it's on. Yeah. Wow. The fact that it has the different firing modes, such as safety, full auto. I mean, that's amazing to me. The words right here. Caliber 9mm by 19. That's what it says. Caliber 9mm by 19. So this looks like a standard Viper 5 from the original games. A very common submachine gun and a very useful one. And in a lot of cases, more useful than a Kalashnikov because the ammo is more plentiful. Of course, we did just find the Viper 5 9 by 18, 9mm by 18, and that's pretty interesting too. But the fact that the details are there shows that work has been done. And this gun looks fantastic, by the way. And it's got a serial number, so the S/ and it looks like that's the serial number of the gun. And of course, sighting. I mean, everything is here. And the fact that it has the ambidextrous sighting on both sides, I mean, I personally prefer that. I think that's cool. And that makes me wonder, are we going to be able to choose if we're a left or a right-handed stalker? That would be cool. I think a lot of people might actually kind of appreciate that, depending on how they view it or if they've ever fired munitions before. This sniper rifle is looking fantastic. What does it say right here? WPN. I probably am not going to know what the hell that stands for if that's a Western make. If you guys know what this is or what that stands for, by all means let me know. I know it's not like a Winchester rifle or anything. I wish I could read more in the magazines. Right here there's lettering. And not all of it is meant to just tell you every single detail about every single weapon. This is interesting. I'm enjoying this. I'm wondering what's been cushed up against this weapon and why. And maybe it's been done. Maybe that has been done so that their face is more comfortable while they're leaning in on this gun to use the iron sights. Because let's be real, this gun is probably not the easiest to fire without a scope or something. It's definitely similar to a Kalashnikov. It looks like a Val. But look at that. It's got carved in lettering and numbering. I mean, it's crazy. That looks like it says USSR. Made in USSR, perhaps. But I don't know what this strapping is, this cushioning. I think it's there, of course. And then the gun's actual strap. The actual strap of the gun has been wrapped around it. Probably because this person is currently not mobile. So they're not looking to carry it over their back. They're probably in the impromptu position. And I love that. I love that this gun has just been strapped all around. And then the integrated silencer looks fantastic. That is a pretty in-game asset, I really gotta say. Okay, moving on. This weapon, made in Israel, I believe it says. It looks like it says Israel, but we'll see. 4371-12SR, I believe. It's beautiful. It looks like it's an assault rifle. Question is what kind. Again, I'm not military. I'm just previous law enforcement. It's all I have going on my side, so I'm not going to know just about everything. And it looks like here's your safety. So it looks like it's currently set to full auto. There's a 5-round setting, and it looks like it's displayed by number of rounds on the side there. But that on the other side, it said where it was made, and of course it's going to move to its next variant. Look at that. And there's the grenade launcher as we saw before. The tactical rail is looking good. Everything on this weapon is looking good. And it looks like this weapon is outfitted with everything. I mean, you've got muzzles galore, grenade launcher. We're going to see what all parts are included. Yep. God, that's pretty. We got to be real. That looks fantastic.
Finally, let's finish with something completely unexpected. We work a lot to fill the world with a decent guy.
Yeah.
Quite a charmer.
The character design?
But let's take a closer look at his...
And listen to that music, guys. The characters could have different teeth. It's like randomly generated.
The tooth is gone.
And the teeth look good.
Changed.
And they look real. Like believable. Like mine. I don't have perfect teeth. Right? Believable.
All made with our custom teeth tool. One of the many plugins we use in the development
process looks good.
For specific changes
it
like that.
It really looks good.
These tiny accents ensure each character looks completely unique.
Yep.
Literally every human in Stalker 2 has one-of-a-kind smile. Or green, I suppose. And that covers up our news for today.
Or crowns.
Please subscribe to our official social channels to receive up-to-date info.
Guys, that looks fantastic. So that's it. I know I've kind of... Again, this is long-winded, but it's something to talk about, and I want to cover this news. Any news that comes out for Stalker or Metro, I plan to be covering in full as these games come out. So that's something I'll be doing. But yeah. I mean, that music that's playing through right now is absolutely fantastic. I unplugged my mic like an idiot. Let me fix that. So, I swear I always do that with my arm. But like, listen to the music when it goes away from him.
Stalkers.
Good hunting, Stalkers. It's a slower version of one of the acoustic tracks from the originals, and the fact that they're not going to leave those out will definitely resonate with old school fans of the Stalker series, and I'm really excited to see how that carries on and how people really appreciate it. So, guys, with that being said, everything that I was going to say about this looks good. The models for Freedom and Duty look so good. The fact that characters are going to be pre-rendered with so many things like the teeth. That's a very big deal. The fact that we're going to see that kind of detail. We may or may not see them depending on what they're wearing helmet-wise. But if you go into the character's inventory, say after he dies in a firefight or something else, and you may see his teeth and you may see his smile, that really is a big deal. It doesn't feel generic. It feels like some tender loving care has been put into individual things, but they've done it in a way to where they can have one thing, preload characters, they'll randomly generate, as they should, because non-scripted events are one of the best things in Stalker. One of the best things about Stalker are its non-scripted events. The fact that random shit can happen at any time. I have to be honest, I think the thing I'm the most excited about is just seeing everything given new life. New life. Like, I kind of wanted to sit down and relax for this one, because I record most of my videos standing up. But I just wanted to chill, and we had a long weekend anyways, and just enjoy this, because seeing this news and seeing information from GSC, because we haven't seen a lot of posted news from them on video face to face from one of their developers, because I just think they've been busy. But they have a hell of a community. It might be a bit of a niche community, but it's also bigger than you think, and there's a reason for it. These games have their own subculture, and I find myself drawn in by them, and drawn in by the communities around them, and drawn in by the characters and the stories, and again, my love for weird-ass atmosphere and some amazing non-scripted events. So that's why I'm promoting the original games. That's why I'm going to be covering these. And if you guys like what you've been seeing, then hit the like button. It helps the algorithm. I mean, you can hit dislike, it's still going to help. So by all means, so that one person keeps disliking all my videos, I love you too. And if you want to support me, the honest best way to do that is just to subscribe to the channel. Even if you don't watch often, just subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell. It helps me a whole lot. You want to follow me on social media, the best place to do that is on Twitter, but I do also have an Instagram and a Facebook, and I'll leave links to everything down in the description below. I demonetized my channel. There are no more ads, so I have a Patreon account, and I do have 4 patrons now. Those 4 patrons are Darth Redbeard, Legacy11, Miha, and Daniel Cutforth, and those 4 are champions. I really appreciate your support. Because of them, I'm actually got an account set to the side for potentially new equipment. Won't be a graphics card, because I'd have to sacrifice a goat to a pagan god to get one of those, and then would still fall short. But anything else, or if something goes bad, I'm going to have the money set aside thanks to you guys in my Patreon group. I'm going to have stuff set aside in case something fails, and I can continue to do this hobby and hopefully continue entertaining you guys. So follow me, guys, if you want to see more Stalker 2 news. Without further ado, this has been the Stalker 2 official game overview with the gentleman who is evidently PR from GSC Game World. I am Euclid, and I will see all of you Stalkers in the next video. Bye, guys.